Sugar or drug? Today, you're about to learn the truth hidden in plain sight. Sugar doesn't just give you energy. It rewires your brain the same way addictive substances do. And the most shocking part is that this manipulation happens silently, chemically, and automatically, even when you believe you're in control. In the next few minutes, you will understand why sugar hijacks your motivation, steals your focus, weakens your discipline, and keeps you stuck in cycles of craving that feel impossible to break. Once you understand the neurology behind it, you will never look at a harmless, sweet moment the same way again. The manipulation begins in the nucleus accumbens, the brain's central reward hub, the same region activated by nicotine, cocaine, and alcohol. When sugar hits your tongue, dopamine spikes rapidly, giving you a brief feeling of pleasure and comfort. But unlike natural rewards such as social connection or sun exposure, sugar creates a reward response that is too fast, too intense, and too artificial. Your brain wasn't designed for this level of stimulation, so it responds by downregulating dopamine receptors. In other words, the more sugar you consume, the less your brain feels rewarded. This is the first step of addiction. You begin to chase the same high, but each time you need more of it. This desensitization creates a neurological trap. Sugar becomes less about enjoyment and more about relief. Relief from irritability, brain fog, low mood, anxiety, and fatigue. Every time you feel low, your brain whispers the same command: eat something sweet. Not because it wants pleasure, but because it wants dopamine. And the more you obey those internal commands, the stronger they become. This isn't weakness, it's wiring. Once sugar is in your bloodstream, the pancreas releases a wave of insulin to push glucose into cells. But here's the hidden twist that most people never realize. A fast spike in blood sugar doesn't just create energy, it creates instability. When blood sugar drops again, usually faster than it should, the brain panics. Low glucose means low fuel. Low fuel means low dopamine. Low dopamine means emotional volatility. This is why after sugar, people often feel sad, anxious, irritable, or mentally drained. It's not just your mood, it's chemistry, and chemistry shapes behavior. When glucose crashes, the brain activates the amygdala, the survival center. That's why cravings feel urgent, intense, and irrational. Your brain perceives sugar as a survival resource, not a treat. Cravings become fear-driven biological alarms, not simple desires. This is exactly how addictive cycles form. Spike, crash, craving, relief, spike, crash, craving. The loop becomes automatic. But things go deeper. Sugar also manipulates your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for discipline, long-term thinking, and emotional regulation. When the prefrontal cortex weakens, you become more impulsive, more distracted, and less capable of resisting temptations. People think they lack willpower, but the truth is sugar chemically suppresses the very region responsible for willpower. You're not failing because you're weak. You're failing because your brain is being chemically overpowered. And the damage doesn't stop there. Chronic sugar intake increases inflammation, and inflammation directly interferes with neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to learn, adapt, and stay mentally sharp. That's why sugar-heavy lifestyles correlate with memory problems. Slower cognition, worse sleep, lower emotional stability, and even higher risk of depression. Sugar isn't just affecting your waistline. It's affecting your identity, your moods, your habits, your ability to focus, your capacity to feel joy, and your long-term mental resilience. Here's the part most people don't realize. Sugar doesn't just create cravings, it creates dependency. It conditions you to self-soothe with food. It trains your brain to believe emotions equals sugar. It teaches your nervous system that comfort comes from consumption, not coping skills. Over time, this rewires emotional responses. Sadness triggers sugar. Stress triggers sugar. Loneliness triggers sugar. Boredom triggers sugar. You're not eating to feel good. You are eating to stop feeling bad. That's textbook addiction. But here's the empowering truth. The same brain that became addicted can become unaddicted. The same neural pathways can be rewired. When you reduce sugar intake, even gradually, dopamine receptors begin to regenerate. Your reward system stabilizes. Your mood becomes less chaotic. Your cravings weaken. Your focus improves. The prefrontal cortex strengthens. Your brain becomes calmer, clearer, more disciplined, more resilient. You don't just feel better. You feel more like yourself again. Breaking the cycle doesn't require perfection. It requires understanding. Awareness changes behavior. When you know what sugar is doing to your brain, the craving loses its power. You stop seeing sugar as a treat and start seeing it as a trigger. And every time you resist the trigger, you strengthen a new neural pathway, a pathway toward clarity, stability, and control. The more you choose stability over stimulation, the more your brain returns to its natural optimized state. So let me ask you this, after hearing all this sugar or drug, now that you know the truth, which one does it feel like to you? And more importantly, what choice will you make the next time your brain whispers for another hit? If you want more eye-opening videos like this, deep psychology, brain science, and hidden behaviors that shape your life, make sure to follow, like, and share. And don't forget, the full ebook with advanced psychological strategies is linked in the YouTube description and in the TikTok bio. Your brain becomes what you feed it, and today, you fed it truth. What will you do next?